From Alaska Teen Media Institute, I'm Nathan Pobieglo. This is Zoom Room, a youth-produced podcast where we zoom into a different theme or topic through interviews and conversations relevant to us, the youth of Alaska. If you're listening to us through a podcasting platform, we wanted to let you know that you can also watch this episode in full on YouTube. Just search Alaska Teen Media. In this episode, we're talking with local noise punk band Tiny. Members Noah Bemben, Rebel Barnes, Isabel Nassar, and Austen Utterback have been playing music together in different iterations for years. In 2024, Tiny released their debut album, Kehl on Sight, while they were all still in high school. ATMI producer Rhys James sat down with all four band members at our studio to talk about their music. They spoke about the origins of the band, their rowdy shows, and what the future of Tiny looks like now that they're all moving to the Pacific Northwest. But first, let's get a taste of their sound. Here is Tiny performing their song Alone in the Slave Trade in their rehearsal space.
I'm Rhys. You all know that. So for people who don't know who you are, can we get some individual introductions?
I'm Noah.
Sorry.
I play guitar and sing or talk.
I'm Isabel. I play bass.
I'm Rebel. I play guitar and also sing or talk.
I'm Austen, and I play drums.
Sweet. And then can we get a band introduction, who you are together?
We're tiny. We're
punk band.
Yes.
Pop group.
Pop
group.
Yeah, we are a pop group.
From Anchorage.
Pop punk is how you describe your music.
Yep.
More or less.
Exactly.
Is that-
92. With a big dash of pseudo-intellectual poser.
Oh yeah.
Right.
All that random.
Schlock.
Schlock, yeah. Yeah, we're schlock.
That
We're
noise
a schlock
garbage.
band.
That noise garbage.
All right. So where would you guys say you draw your inspiration from, whether it be other bands or social issues or anything like that?
I'm sure we could give you a very, very long list of bands.
Any that come to mind
Flipper.
first?
Yeah.
Big
Big
Black.
Black, yep.
Slint. Slint's a big one.
I like Black Flag.
Swans.
Sweet.
A little bit
Madonna.
of Sonic Youth.
A lot of Madonna.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really into Madonna.
Fela Kuti.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess instrumentally it's definitely mostly other bands, but lyrically it's probably a mix of like social influences,
Yeah.
social issues,
Or Madonna.
or Madonna,
Also
Just
Madonna.
Madonna. You just are Madonna reincarnate. That's cool.
I suppose.
Yeah.
Okay.
Where else would we wear our wedding dresses? Except
Okay.
on stage.
And what do you guys wish to accomplish with the music that you make?
Money.
Money, power.
Money and power.
Yeah.
I wouldn't-
Stadium shows.
Yeah. I
Action
wouldn't say we
figures.
necessarily have a goal except for the kind of continued performance of what we already do.
Right.
Yeah.
Just
We're
playing
kind of-
shows.
well, yeah,
Yeah.
it's like we like playing shows, we like writing music, and we like hanging out in basements. And
Yeah.
Currently we get to do all three of those, and it's pretty fun.
Sweet.
With a much heavier dash of hanging out in basements than either of the other two, but
Right.
they all kind of balance each other out in a good way.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess I mean long-term goal, get other people to also play music.
Yeah.
It's
That's
not
a-
that
Yeah,
hard.
there's not enough
Yeah,
bands
starting
that are
bands and stuff.
under the age of 25 in Anchorage.
Sweet. And so I know it's kind of hard to find people who share your views and like kind of the music that you like. How did you guys all come together?
Me and Rebel met in 3rd grade.
Yeah,
Isabel and I
and-
also met in like 3rd grade.
Yeah.
So we've all known each other for a long time from school, and we've kind of
Mutual
it's not necessarily
influence.
that we found other people with the same influences as us, as much as we sort of grew up together in a loose sense, and our individual music taste percolated throughout the rest of them.
Sweet. And how'd you guys start playing together?
Well, first it was jazz band. And then
no. So
with
first,
Andrew.
the first incarnation
It's probably the Wailing
was
Pigeons.
the Wailing Pigeons, which is me and Rebels.
Alphabet soup.
Awesome cover band when we were 12 with Griffin from Vital on vocals.
Yep.
And that lasted a couple years, actually. We were 12 to we were about 14. And then that got me and Rebel playing together, and we kind of kept playing together as friends after we were done with that. And then
Rebel and I and Noah at one point were in a ska band called Alphabet Soup when we were in middle school. That lasted for about 3 years, but only had like 4 practices.
well, I was also never actually in the band.
You were like
asked-
technically
they
in it,
asked
but
me
we
to-
never practiced with
They asked
Noah.
me to be the singer and sent me a playlist of some of
Some
the
of the
worst
worst
music I've
music
ever
ever.
heard. It was
I
like
attended
I
one
remember like
practice.
frantically memorizing the lyrics to a No Effects song. And then I never went to a practice, and then they stopped playing.
Yeah, and me and Austen only ever did one practice, and the supposed guitarist didn't show up, so it just ended up being us playing like really bad No Trend covers for like an hour.
Yeah.
But
at
to
that
that point, we've all been friends, and we've
Yeah.
all had music as part of how we're friends, I guess. So then eventually it kind of just right place, right timed into
I
us being a band.
started playing with them. It was sophomore, junior year for actually Sitka Fine Arts Camp Rock Band.
Yeah.
It was Rebel, Noah, me, and our friend Andrew. We're just practicing stuff for that. And then after Sitka, we kind of all were like, we should keep playing.
We were like,
Then we
no.
roped Austin into it. But
Yeah, because Andrew wasn't
Yeah.
playing with us anymore.
I wouldn't say there's very much of an origin story other
Yeah.
than all being
It was
friends.
just
There
kinda
isn't
like
Yeah.
one
Yeah.
origin
Yeah.
story.
being friends.
Even instrumentally, it was just like, who plays what? Well, these people can play this, and we can play this thing. So let's just do something, man.
Let's just hang out in the basement and play.
That is our
Yay.
guiding.
Okay, so you guys have been playing and making music together for a few years now. How do you feel you've grown as artists, either together or individually? Or
I think, at least for me personally, I've been in bands and playing live since I was 8 or 9, but I hadn't ever been in a band that did like original music until since that was kind of a learning curve. Not really a steep learning curve because you just kind of do it, but it was like it felt like an important change. That was a lot more meaningful than what I'd been doing before that.
I think getting better at playing your instrument is definitely like a big part of it. Playing with a group, you have to kind of like really be focused up, because if you're playing poorly, then that's not good.
Yeah, I would say, not to talk about it for them, but I feel like both Austen and Isabel have gotten a lot better at their instrument.
Yeah, because they sucked.
This is true.
through just like being forced to have to practice for live shows.
But I think really we've definitely become more of a unit as people, and it's pretty cool to have something that's like a. I mean, it's sort of like a job or something in that it like gives you a. It's not that like it gives you an identity or a purpose or anything like that. It kind of does, but not in such a dramatic way. But it's like it gives you something to do in a framework to think of yourself in, and that's pretty cool.
cool. And then so again, you guys have been playing for a while. Can you talk about your experience with the Anchorage music scene and how it's been interacting with other bands as people under 21?
I think we didn't have a very like cohesive idea of what Anchorage was as a scene in like its own personal characteristics and stuff until we went on tour last summer and saw like a bunch of different cities and how their bands work. And I think coming back from that, we've kind of gotten more of an appreciation for sort of the effect that like being sort of geographically and culturally isolated has on Anchorage music, because if you go, especially being in like a heavier band and stuff, if you go to a bunch of different cities on like the West Coast and stuff, like they have bigger and more thriving scenes than we do for sure, but they're also like very very split. There's a lot of it's like you're going to go to a show and it's going to be a hardcore show, and every band is going to sound like a hardcore band.
Right.
Or you're going to go to like an emo show and it's all going to be a bunch of like twinkly dudes in big shorts. Here it's not really like that. It's like when we started, it was even more kind of all over the place. Like you go to a show and it's like neo soul, and then like some like weird producer, and then like an art rock band, and then like another like singer songwriter, and then like another heavy band, and just kind of all over the map. And it's kind of coalesced over time into being more of like the shows we play at. All the other bands are broadly loud rock music, but it's a lot cooler still than if it was just like say like we're a noise punk band. I guess we're not playing with 3 other noise punk bands every single night. We're playing with like a math rock band, and then like a kind of like 14-year-olds in a punk band, and then like Vital or something. Like there's a lot more diversity.
Sure.
Which is pretty cool.
Sweet. Anyone else have anything to add, or is that?
Sorry, that was a long answer.
No, you're good.
Everyone here is really nice.
I think it's been
It's mostly just nice people.
Yeah. I think when we were first entering, that was pretty apparent because we definitely didn't really know what we were doing putting on shows, and a lot of people kind of being younger, they were like, oh, we can do that. This is how you do that. And that was pretty helpful.
And we got a lot of help, especially from Sundog. Shout out Devin.
Yeah,
seriously.
shout out
The
Devin.
single reason we can do anything
Genuinely,
ever.
yeah.
I think it's also been really awesome to see, like, I think the past, like, couple of years, just how many more young people are showing up. And it's, like, awesome to have a space where people can just have fun and do whatever and be a little weird and make friends. And I don't know. It's a little cheesy, but it's pretty nice to see.
No, I definitely get it. So going back to you guys touring, that's not really a common thing from my understanding for like bands right out of high school to do. How did this come about?
A lot of work. Yeah.
Money.
Money.
Oh my God, no.
Money.
A lot of money went into it.
Yeah.
Basically, no money came out of it. But
Yeah, that's right.
Worth
A lot of
it.
money flushed down the drain.
Yeah, it was a waste of time. We wouldn't do it again. No. I mean, I think that's been kind of I wouldn't say it was necessarily a goal of ours when we started, because it's pretty far-fetched. It's a huge like logistical effort,
Sure.
especially when you don't have like national traction or anything. But I think kind of after we finished recording our first EP, when was that, March 2024?
I think it was February.
It
It
was-
was
yeah,
really...
it was
January, something
January,
like that. Yeah.
February.
Yeah.
It came out in March, but like a year ago, year and some. I kind of just, I mean, we were getting into the last bit of high school, and so I always wanted to do it, and I think I was more optimistic about the chances of us doing it than everyone else, but we also just never really talked about it, right? Yeah. And so I like kind of looked into like how we could make it work, and like the finances of it and stuff, and kind of thought like, okay, well, it is possible. It just would kind of take a lot. And so then kind of, the like for the rest of the 6-month period after that, I I don't know, it was kind of like, there wasn't like a catalyst of like, because of this we did it too. We kind of just made it happen. But we also like, we were total novices and kind of went about it like the wrong way. And yeah, I mean, it was just something we wanted to do, and then we did it, and it worked out for the most part.
Sweet.
And I'm very glad we did, but it was a lot of work.
Yeah, I think a lot of it was also just like learning how to do it, so for next time we have a better idea.
Yeah.
And I think coming from like Alaska and doing it on like West Coast is a lot harder. But I think we did a pretty good job,
Yeah.
and we
As
definitely
well
have
as can be
some
expected,
new
I
insights.
hope so. Yeah, and I think, I mean, it's just like, it's like if you spend most of your like later childhood and mid-teens like kind of idolizing like bands like, I don't know, like Minor Threat or whatever, or just like all of the DC hardcore and West Coast hardcore like mythos, it feels like something you sort of have to do if you want to be serious. Like
sleeping on floors
It's
and
like-
random people's houses.
or not even want to be serious, but it's just part of the package.
Paying
of
your dues.
Wanting to be. Oh my god, dude. It's part of the package of the whole like kind of idea of I want to be in a band. It's just part of it. It's the same as recording or playing shows. It's like we're gonna play shows, we're gonna write music, we're gonna put that music out, and then we're gonna tour on it, and you kind of just have to make it work.
Sweet. And then, so you said that the scenes you guys visited were a lot different from Anchorage. Were there any that were most notable, or is it
Oakland.
Chico,
Oh.
California. Chico, when we went there, it's very far North California, so it's like between South Oregon and the Bay Area. There's a big dead space where there's not that many big towns to play in or good venues or scenes, whatever. And so we stopped in Chico because they have one good spot. But while we were driving there was like a humongous wildfire in the whole area right around Chico. And so then when we got into Chico, the wildfire, apparently Chico doesn't really get the wildfires it's not really threatened by it, but they are like surrounded by it. But this one was really bad. And so when we got into town, like half of the people had like evacuated and the whole place was filled with smoke. And then we played the show basically to just the other bands. And,
One guy.
and
This
this
was
one old
exactly
guy who
like
was like
Charles
sort of shuffling
Bukowski.
to the whole thing. And then we stayed at a motel and some people OD'd in the parking lot, and there were some other people like shooting a porno in the room below us. And
Really good night. Good sleep.
yeah, it was. I wouldn't say it was notable for its scene, but it was notable for the experience.
I just think in general, like, I mean, everyone we played with was super nice and welcoming and, like, very helpful with setting up shows. And I think just as a whole, like, West Coast scene is very, it's a lot more connected. I mean, like, physically as well, but it's just a lot easier to, I guess, like, meet other bands and set things up. But everyone was super nice, and it was a really fun time.
Oakland has a really interesting scene. They hate everything. That's not like hardcore.
Yeah.
So
If you don't play Beatdown, they're probably gonna fucking break your legs.
No cursing, rebel.
It was a little allowed.
the bands are cool though. The bands are awesome. We met a
Yeah.
lot of cool people in Oakland. Shout out Praying. And
Yeah, I'd
Big.
say.
And Graham.
I'd say we didn't really see enough of like a full city's scene to get an idea of which places were more like thriving than others, especially since I booked it sort of poorly, and we usually ended up playing with really cool bands to not very many people.
Right.
But I think of the places we visited, Seattle and Portland are the places that have like the coolest variety of music, and we have friends there now, and
Sweet.
yeah.
Is there anything from any of your stops that you felt you should bring back to the Anchorage scene? I don't know, like mindset or different kinds of music or anything like that.
in Portland, everyone is really cool about like moshing and stuff. They also make good music. And all the young people there like start bands and stuff. They're really like, they've got a very good like DIY scene of young people making different kinds of music, which I feel like needs to happen here.
I think. I just think for Portland specifically, kind of like what Austen said, but I have a lot of friends who are from there, and like, yeah, they're in a band, but they're also in like 5 other bands with half the same people, a bunch of different people. I just think in general, like, yeah, more young people should be, playing music. And I also think trying out like a lot of different things and a lot of different sounds with different people. Like, you don't have to stay fixed in one band. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's awesome if you do, but
I also think kind of the important part of it isn't even necessarily saying like you should be in bands. It's that like if you're someone who likes going to shows and you like being part of this like community, you don't have to become deeply involved in it. It's not a necessity, but it is what keeps the whole thing going. Mm-hmm. And so it's like even if you're not very musical, maybe you don't even really want to play music, not even just that you can't. But you can still like start a zine or start a radio show or start a record label, or like there's all this stuff that you can do to be involved that makes it better for everyone. And I think not all the places we visited, but a fair few of them have that mindset pretty deeply ingrained, and we definitely like more of that in Anchorage.
Yeah. A lot more engagement from the people who like to watch it, not just a cool show for them to go see and consume and forget about.
But that's fine too.
That's okay, but
take
it'd be
pictures
nice.
and take videos and let people play in your basement. And let people sleep in your house if they're touring and stuff. Like,
that's the real
scary.
takeaway. Yeah, put on house shows.
Sweet.
seriously.
And then, Austin, can I go back to what you said? Portland people are really cool about moshing. What do you mean?
They just have good etiquette and stuff. It's
Oh.
like I feel like here it's kind of like new people kind of come into the scene. They don't really know like etiquette for like the pit and stuff.
Sure.
But there they all kind of know, like, pick each other up, like don't like go super hard for like something that you shouldn't be going super hard for. Don't like target people and stuff like that.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense.
We'll be right back with Rhys's conversation with Tiny in just a moment. Alaska Teen Media Institute is looking for youth to join our team. As a youth producer, you can conduct interviews like the one you're listening to right now, edit film and audio, record voiceovers, edit scripts, or do what I'm doing right now. All of that is paid work. So, if you're between the ages of 13 and 24 and you're interested in joining ATMI, you can go to alaskateenmedia.org/join. You can also email us at news@alaskateenmedia.org. Let's hear another song from Tiny. This is Close Your Eyes.
Make sure nothing can stop your shine. Keep it out of your head. You'll be fine. It doesn't exist if you don't think about it. Make sure to close your eyes. Keep them shut real tight. You'll be just fine. Impotence are peaceful anyhow. Infinite atrocity to forget 'em. And even if you remember, make sure to close your eyes. Keep them shut real tight. You'll be just fine, baby. Fire! time you feel moral. Make sure to close your eyes. Shut real tight. You'll be just fine.
This is just a song. Don't fool yourself. This doesn't help maybe. But I'm glad you feel better.
So some of you have moved out of state. How have you guys managed to keep your band going and stay kind of together?
I
Run
think,
fumes.
I mean, we've all been, I think, under the impression of, like, when we're gone, it's just a break. It's not, like, we're done forever. And, I mean, we're all moving to Oregon very shortly, so we'll continue with, hopefully, what we're doing there. But, I don't know. I mean, we've all explored other stuff, but I think it's mostly just, like, we're committed to what we have now, so.
Yeah, I think we all kind of kept our momentum by like individually working on projects or, you know, practicing our instrument, you know, whatever. But with the idea that, yeah, that it's a break, that we're just going to come back.
Yeah, I think there's not really much talk of abandoning anything. I think we're pretty committed to keeping it going. But yeah, we are also all. So this last school year, Austen and Isabel were in school in Oregon, and so we were kind of on breaks for the semesters with like our one show over winter break. But yeah, this next year we're all moving down, me and Rebel included, and so then that's our tiny Pacific Northwest takeover.
Sweet. Can I ask what part of Oregon you guys are gonna be in?
Corvallis and Eugene.
Corvallis and Eugene.
Sweet.
Yep.
I'll be in Portland, so
Yay.
let me know when you
That'll
guys
be fun.
chose.
Yeah, we'll hopefully be playing a lot
Sweet.
all the time.
Yeah.
Seattle.
And not
as
just
well.
not just.
And I
in
think
Oregon.
that was our personal takeaway from tours, that bands in the lower 48, or at least where we were, have like so much opportunity, even just by virtue of being close to the rest of the country. So even if you're in a place that has no scene, you can drive 3 hours and be somewhere with like a huge thriving scene. But with all that opportunity, like 90% of the bands like do basically nothing with it, and they just end up playing like once every other month or something, like, which is like, I mean, that's fine. But our takeaway is that if we all move down with kind of the same work ethic that we have up here, we can play like constantly to a ton of different people, and
even a
do
show
lot
like
more.
every 2 weeks or something. If you're cycling cities,
It's like,
you're
yeah,
not gonna overplay in one place.
like in
and-
Anchorage, we have to sort of keep it like 1 or 2 shows a month just to not burn people out.
Right.
You're playing to the same crowd every time, but if you live down there, you can play like a different town like every night and still keep that same amount of space between shows, and not burn out any one group of people.
Cool. Okay, so over the past couple years, I think you guys have become one of the more well-known Anchorage bands. I've talked about this with Rebel before, but how does it feel to be kind of like a high school celebrity? And how has it changed the way that people like interact with you?
I wouldn't.
I think
wouldn't
we're
say
just
it's
normal.
Yeah,
I
we're
don't
just
think it's-
people.
I don't think it's okay. Well, yeah. I don't think it's that intrusive. to us. I mean, it doesn't really go beyond like meeting someone and them saying, "Oh, you playing Tiny, right?" Like, yep. And then you kind of go on. I mean, no one that we really interact with takes it for more than it is, I would say. So I don't think it definitely doesn't go to our heads.
No.
That's what the question was.
I've definitely had a couple like awkward encounters with people where it's just
Yes.
wrong place, wrong time. I think the big takeaway is like, it's cool to like our music. We try to like our music. We like playing, but we're also just like completely normal. We're not like anything crazy. And also cars at 1 a.m, not the place. I'm buying ice cream, please.
Yeah.
I think also, I think in Anchorage it's like feels like a bigger deal than it is, just because there isn't like a ton of, I don't know, opportunities, or I guess for young people to like go to shows. And so if there is one, like everyone knows about it. But I think it's really just like, yeah, we're just like kids making music, and that's how it is everywhere, and that's all it is. Well, you know what I mean? Like it doesn't need to be.
Well, I think that
world,
kind of
man.
goes back to the start your own band thing, which is that, I don't know, we don't have anything very special going on for us, and I think placing that idea of specialness on a band is kind of just a way of like negating your own chances of doing it. Like I kind of think pretty much any band, like even like humongous or amazing ones or whatever, like there's very few of them where it is really like seriously exceptional people in like a different way from all of the rest of the world. Like I think pretty much any band is just like, it's like anything else, you work at it for a long time and eventually you'll get better. And so that means it's open to everyone, not just geniuses like us.
Yeah, actually, you guys can't start your own band. We're God-sent geniuses. It's over.
There's no point.
There's no point.
There's no point.
No music after Tiny.
Okay. And you guys keep, saying you want more people to join the scene, make music, all that. Do you have any advice to people who are trying to get into the scene?
Just reach out.
Yeah.
Just message a band and be like, hey, do you want to play a show? Chances are they're gonna say yeah. Like it's not a big thing.
I will say, I mean, starting your own band is super important. That is harder, obviously.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
like
probably
you have
the
to
bigger
find
hurdle.
friends that you like and who like the same music as you or similar and play instruments, and you have to find a garage. I mean, yeah, finding space is probably the hardest part if you don't have like a good basement and nice parents. But yeah, really the thing is like it shouldn't be that intimidating. At least, like, we would hope that we don't make it that way, and that if it's essentially like if you think something is cool, just kind of follow it to its extent, and and also like figure out where the shows are and then follow the bands or something. I mean, the literal advice is just like go on Instagram, find a band, and then look at the flyers. Like,
If you got music and you got another band that you like, just be like, hey, we have music. Play with us. It's
Odds
really,
are they'll say yes.
yeah, it's really that easy. That and finding a venue. The hardest thing is finding a venue.
Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely.
Okay. So, your guys' shows can get pretty rowdy. How do you balance the kind of fun, sought-after violence with like keeping people safe?
well, clearly we're not good enough at that because Jonathan got annihilated.
That was our
and
bad.
that was my fault.
Sorry, Jonathan.
Direct
I think
Tiny
that's something we're
incident.
trying to get better at. I think the problem is that, at least for me, I don't look into the crowd at all when we play.
Yeah, me
Like
neither.
people like come up afterwards, like be like, "Yo, someone like did this crazy stage dive right in front of you," or like, or anything exceptional.
This guy did a
and I was
backflip and landed
like,
on
it was,
his
yeah, it was 2
neck.
feet away from you,
It's
and I don't know. But I think part of the reason, well, and also in general, people don't get hurt at our shows. I don't want to give the impression that people are just dying and we're not watching. I think if bad stuff happens, we do usually notice and call it out. But I think the other thing is that we put a lot of faith in the audience to be there for each other and to not be kind of just like out to get their kicks out on each other. Like it's not like I do think like a loud show with like a lot of moshing and stuff, you do, especially with newer people who come and it's like their first time moshing or something, like it's pretty easy, especially if you're like a young high school dude with like no boundaries, no sense of boundaries. It's pretty easy to be like, oh, they're beating each other up. Great. Like, this is what I've always wanted. I have some macho dream of being in a fight. And then you have like one or two people who are like just being absurd and like too violent and stuff. And I think that's the bit we need to get better at, like noticing and calling out. Because I've definitely been at some shows where there's like one person just kind of ruining it for everybody. Mm-hmm. But I think, yeah, I mean, I think our approach is to trust the crowd and then balance that out with like just kind of some PSAs about like pick each other up and don't be evil.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. But yeah, we should probably get more on that.
I think it just goes back to what Austen was saying about audience etiquette. We got to get on that.
If you knock someone down, pick them up. Someone knocks you down, don't
knock them down.
don't attack them.
Yeah. And that's the thing. It's not like no one should be fighting.
Yeah.
You're not fighting.
Yeah.
You're dancing, and it's just sort of a violent way of dancing.
Yeah.
But yeah, don't hurt people.
I will say is that I actually think, considering all things, like we have a pretty safe area or I guess like scene that people can participate in. I mean, compared to a lot of places, like I think in bigger scenes that I've experienced, like we do have a bigger sense of camaraderie. I mean, it could definitely be improved, but yeah, I think it's everyone just is kind of learning how to, participate, and there's always some mistakes that come with that. So
Sure.
And like, I mean, I do think, yeah, like we don't pay a ton of attention to it, and that's because like we haven't really had to that much. Mm-hmm. I think there's like sort of occasional incidences where we should have looked out more, but I think in general, like our crowds are pretty good. Everyone's that goes to shows is usually a fairly cool person, and they're nice to each other, and also since we're culturally isolated a little bit. I mean, there's the internet and stuff, but you don't have. No one's really learned the crazier crowd killing techniques yet. Like, I went to a show in Oakland a couple months ago, and there's this guy like, it was crazy. He had this like, it was like this spin. He would like go to the edge of the crowd, and then like look like he was about to jump forward, but then he'd like spin around with his like boot at like head height and just like kick the person behind him as hard as he could.
Wow.
So no one's done that at our shows. So
Yeah.
I think yeah.
Okay. So at your last show, you played some new music. Do you guys want to talk a little bit about your inspiration, what these songs are about, that kind of stuff?
Nah. No, yeah. I wouldn't say we have a cohesive idea of what all of our songs are about. I mean, individually as the writers we do, but there's not like it's not like a concept album. We're not all talking about it.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, so we're gonna be in Oregon all of next year, basically. So I think while we're here, we do want to, like before we leave, we're definitely we're trying to record an album, put that out, hopefully before we leave, maybe a little bit after. But being here is kind of our time to just like buckle down and work without a ton of like other stuff we have to do. Like no one's in school yet, and we're all working, but we can like practice around our job hours, and it's kind of it's a good time to kind of buckle down. So we have new songs.
Sweet. Okay. Anyone else want to talk about your new stuff, or?
I guess musically, it's definitely just like you get an idea in your head and are like, I really want to do this thing. And then you work on an instrumental and it either turns out or it doesn't. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah, you think I want to write a song, and then you
Then you write
do
one.
it.
Yeah, I mean, really, that is all.
But
it is.
I do think if we're talking like how these songs are like different from our past stuff and stuff, I think and I guess going back to like how we've grown as a band or whatever, I think there's definitely like a sense of moving forward with our new stuff. It's not like worlds apart from our last two EPs, but it's definitely musically different. I think.
I think
honestly, even though we said like Slint and Big Black, really sorry I bulleted in.
No, you're good.
I think it sort of feels like we have these like noise rock, post rock, like sort of core influences that are pretty deeply ingrained with everything. But I think we're kind of it's still definitely there and part of it, but we're moving along kind of it. There's more stuff to it than just like ripping off every Steve Albini project. I guess that's the quote, is that like that's like people think we're original because they don't know who we're ripping off. And now we're just ripping off like sort of a wider net. Yeah, it's not so selective. We're casting around for more stuff.
Sweet.
Yeah, I think definitely musically, I think just songwriting wise, we've all gotten more confident. Definitely found our footing a little more. I guess you would call it the group musical identity of Tiny is solidifying a little bit
GMI.
more. Yeah. But yeah, so musically, it's just, I think we've become better songwriters, and have more an idea of what we want to do without sounding completely like someone else. And then lyrically, I guess
That's pretty individual.
yeah, gripes I have about things. That's kind of it.
Any notable gripes, Raul?
They're in the lyrics.
They're in
No
there.
need to
Okay.
get into it.
We'll dissect them later.
Hey, that's private.
And then you said we might be able to stream the new stuff soon.
No, it's only on floppy disk.
Okay. We'll make it work.
No, yeah. It'll be out in all the normal places, and we do want to have like, we need to figure out a way to do cassettes and CDs and stuff, because that is more fun.
Very cool.
But it'll be the same as all our other stuff.
Yeah. Okay. So we've kind of already covered it, but my last kind of question is, what's next for you guys?
Riches.
Put out an album, Riches and Fame.
West Coast.
We're gonna
Group Harakiri.
we're gonna brutally take over the Pacific Northwest with our incredible noise punk genius.
I thought it was pop punk.
exploration.
Oh yeah, pop punk.
For the tongue.
Noise pop punk.
We're all moving, and then
Sweet.
we're all gonna keep playing shows, and then we're gonna come back to Anchorage for the summer, and then we're gonna move again, and
Awesome.
hopefully tour as much as we can in between all of that. I wouldn't say we have. I think really, if you do go about being a band with like a set goal of like, we're gonna make like a masterpiece, or basically anything other than just like, we're doing this kind of because we have to as people, and we're just going to continue doing it to the fullest extent of our abilities. That's basically all our plans, always.
Yeah. And my last question is, what % of the population could you beat in a fight?
Not
2
this
probably.
Percent?
2% or just 2 people?
Either.
Just these 3.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Just Isabel.
Okay.
Probably no one, really.
Probably no
Yeah.
one. Never.
That's why we play music instead of moshing. We just like flop around like noodles.
I just get beat up, and then I'm tired, and I'm like, okay, I hate moshing now.
Speak for yourself.
The secret life of Tiny. We're all just
Weak.
wimps and weak, small people.
That's why it's
Small-minded, Posers.
You guys aren't big and strong. You're tiny. Come on.
Oh boy, yeah.
Okay. That's all I have. Yes. Okay.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Sweet.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you
you.
for having
Thank
us.
you guys
Hopefully we
for-
didn't embarrass ourselves too much.
No,
I think
no.
we embarrassed ourselves.
I don't think we got the embarrassing stuff on video. So
No, I don't
it's
think
fine.
that was too bad.
No, it was fine.
Sweet. Thank you.
Sweet.
Awesome. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Yay.
That was Absorb Franklin by Tiny, performed at their rehearsal space. You've been listening to Zoom Room, a production of Alaska Teen Media Institute. Our show's theme music is by Kendrick Whiteman, with additional music from Devin Shreckengost. Video production and editing by Logan Ehrhart, Charlie Groat, Emmanuel Laron, Rhys James, Jordan Kehl, and Vermillion Reed. Special thanks to Mike Dickinson for lending us some extra recording equipment. Alaska Teen Media Institute is based in Anchorage, Alaska. We would like to acknowledge the Dena'ina people whose land we work on. This episode of our podcast was made possible with funding from Rasmuson Foundation through the Arts and Education Fund, administered by the Alaska State Council on the Arts, with additional support from the Atwood Foundation and the Alaska Center for Excellence in Journalism Fund at the Alaska Community Foundation. The views expressed in this program do not necessarily represent the views of our sponsors. Thanks to our listeners who contribute to our programs and help us leverage additional funds and grants. If you'd like to help support Youth Voices in Alaska and help keep our podcast going, you can go to alaskateenmedia.org/donate. You can also help out by subscribing to, rating, or writing a review of our podcast on Apple Podcasts. Every little bit helps us get our stories out there. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram for all sorts of updates. For Alaska Teen Media, I'm Nathan Pobieglo. Thanks for listening.